Hi everyone, it's Patti Behan and thank you for joining me in the studio. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use your pre-made do-it-yourself archival ink pads. The way this works is once you have your do-it-yourself ink pad made, you just use it to stamp onto your background. And in this one we have manganese blue, chrome yellow, and vermilion. And you know how you usually use multiple ink pads to get a variegated color of ink on your backgrounds? Well, if you use your make-it-yourself ink pads, you only have to use one. And it's a quick time saver and it has really nice results. And you don't even have to worry where you're stamping because the colors are already made for you. You just have to make sure you get a nice amount of ink on the background. And I think we did good. And then the next thing is I'm just going to place my card in the center here. And then to keep things neat, I have a piece of scrap paper, and you could use just your fingers to apply the ink to the card here, but I'm going to use a brayer for a little extra insurance to make sure that I get all the areas of the card. And you just have to be careful that you keep your card straight when you're doing this, and you hold it down pretty firmly so that it doesn't move. All right, and I'm actually going to go one more time with my fingers. It's better safe than sorry. Okay. Ah, that's beautiful. Perfect. So you see how vibrant that color is, and it has all different shades. Okay, so let's go on to the next way to use your pad. Okay, for this next one, I'm going to be using this do-it-yourself ink pad, and it's made with library green, emerald green, and seagrass. Always write on the back what colors you use so that you remember. And I just have here a plain piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to be using a solid stamp to do my custom blend stamping. And for this, I am going to stamp with the darker part of the ink pad towards the bottom. And I'll make sure I ink the stamp really well. And you'll notice that these are clear stamps, and it is has a little bit of color still left from me doing this before. So archival ink will tend to stain your stamps a little bit, but as long as you clean them off and you stamp it and the ink isn't transferring, it's fine, and it's not going to ruin your stamp. So I want to make sure I get a good amount of ink everywhere. And you can go back and forth, and don't worry about lining up the colors because it's a blended look, and that's perfectly fine. I just want to make sure the stamp is well inked. And then once that's done, you just stamp it down and just press it down firmly. And you can kind of see the ink transferring as you stamp. There you have your variegated pattern, and it just took like a minute to make this. Okay, so that's that technique, and I have one more thing I want to show you, and I'll be right back. Okay, next I have here a pad we made with vibrant fuchsia, majestic violet, and manganese blue. And for this one, I'm going to do some multiple stampings just to show you how to get different looks. So I'm using this stamp right here, and I'm stamping on just a plain white tag, and I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I want to get the pink color here to begin, and I want to make sure I ink up my stamp really well. And I'm going to go ahead and just move it up a bit. And I have one more spot I want to get, so I want to go ahead and just tap on there, just to make sure I have it inked good. Okay. And now I'll stamp it off a little bit and towards the bottom so that it has like an anchor. Okay, and then you see how you get the variation in color there. And now I'm going to change the direction of how I use the stamp pad, so I want to clean this off. And what we have is Archival ink cleaner, and you just dab it onto the stamp. It's not a scrubber. It has a foam top, and if you scrub too hard, you could take the foam top off. So once you do that, this is your scrubber. It's called the Rubber Scrub It Pad, and you just clean off the stamp just like that, and then you're good to go. And then I'm just going to wipe it off here on the side on a paper towel, just to make sure. So now this time I'm going to use the blue for this flower, and I'm going to, I think it's better if you stamp it on top of the stamp here. This way you can see what you're doing a little bit more. Okay, and I think I'll just put it down here this way. And then see, you're using the same stamp pad and you get the variation in color. It's a really easy way to not think about how to color. Okay, now I'm going to put some words on top. I'm using this stamp right here. And then again, I'm just going to ink up the stamp like so. And that's good. And then press it down, and there you go. So that's just another way to use your do-it-yourself archival ink pad. And I have some more samples to show you. And here we have the background was stamped with the do-it-yourself archival pad, and we stamped with jet black archival ink over top. And then here's one that was just one image using another pad. And here we have some leaves again. And it's just a colorful way to stamp your images. And then this one is really dramatic. We just used the do-it-yourself ink pad for this one image, and the background is neutral. I think this came out really good. So that's it for now, and keep watching to find out how else you can use archival inks.